And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
The fall of Scene Diddy Combs, one of the most prominent figures in hip-hop and business, has left both fans and the industry reeling. For decades, Diddy wasn't just a producer or rapper. He was a true mogul. He shaped the sound and style of an entire era, from the beats on his tracks to the fashion and lifestyle of his Bad Boy Records empire. Yet now, the man once heralded as the bad boy for life finds himself surrounded by allegations that could bring an end to everything he's built, leaving his empire and reputation on shaky ground.
Just incredible. And, you know, it brings into context our whole system of innocent until proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, you know, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, you know, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent until proven guilty.
Many thought Diddy was untouchable, a self-made powerhouse who'd managed to navigate every scandal and setback that came his way. He built his reputation as a determined businessman, someone who could handle anything thrown his way with swagger and grit. But these recent accusations are different, digging into a dark side of his legacy that few were prepared to confront. Friends, former employees, and associates have come forward with shocking claims that have left the public questioning how much of Diddy's success was built on skill and how much on intimidation and secrecy.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
The wave of revelations has shaken Diddy's standing and, even more strikingly, has led to an unprecedented moment in the music world. Jay-Z, a longtime associate and fellow powerhouse, has decided to testify against him. This decision shocked many, especially those who've watched the two men work and grow their brands side by side. Jay-Z, known for keeping his business clean and meticulously building an empire around Roc Nation, seemed to have a genuine connection with Diddy, or so everyone thought. But with Diddy now facing potential charges that could put his entire future at risk, Jay-Z's testimony suggests there may be more to their relationship and rivalry than met the eye.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
Jay-Z's motives in stepping into this legal firestorm remain mysterious, with fans and media alike speculating on what he stands to gain. Some wonder if this is purely business, a calculated move to remove a competitor and solidify his own place as hip-hop's sole mogul. The two men have been linked throughout their careers, not only through collaborations, but also through public displays of support and even philanthropy. Yet behind the scenes, it appears there was always a quiet but intense power struggle, each trying to outshine the other and grab hold of the music industry's top position. Jay-Z's decision to testify may be the final chess move in a game they've been playing for years, a silent battle for dominance that's only now becoming visible.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere.
Adding fuel to the fire are whispers of ulterior motives beyond simple rivalry. According to rumors, this testimony is only part of a broader plan by Jay-Z to not just cement his status as a music mogul, but to gain influence over aspects of Diddy's business dealings. Both men have significant stakes in entertainment, fashion, and even spirits, and they've occasionally overlapped in ventures, leading to speculation that their business moves were less about partnership and more about strategic positioning. There's talk that Jay-Z has wanted to dominate this sector fully, with insiders suggesting he's looking to bring elements of Diddy's empire under his influence.
Complete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his homes.
This power play extends far beyond record deals and business interests. Diddy and Jay-Z's partnership has shaped the industry's landscape for decades, and while on the surface they appeared to be aligned, insiders claim their collaboration was, in reality, a cover for their complex rivalry. As two of the wealthiest and most influential men in hip-hop, their every move was seen as a reflection of the others. When one launched a new venture, the other followed. When one made headlines, the other seemed to respond. And while Diddy's Bad Boy Records empire was one of the first to make a global impact, Roc Nation has taken Jay-Z to unprecedented heights, making him hip-hop's first billionaire and, according to some sources, the man who now holds all the power in this elite world.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
What's ironic is that some of their best-known collaborations, like philanthropic work and mutual endorsements, were likely strategic moves in their ongoing rivalry. While fans saw these gestures as genuine acts of friendship, some insiders say they were no more than staged moves in a carefully managed competition. It's almost as if both men knew that working together publicly would protect their images while they maneuvered behind the scenes to become hip-hop's ultimate king. This complex dance has now led to an unthinkable point. One titan testifying against the other in a case that could change the future of both men and reshape the music industry as we know it.
We all saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
But the recent revelations about Diddy's life go beyond business power plays. What's being revealed now is an entirely different side of his empire. A darker, hidden world of late-night gatherings and exclusive parties, the sort that were the stuff of legends in the entertainment world. These were the places where stars, socialites, and moguls mingled, always under the guise of high-profile networking events. Diddy's legendary parties were once seen as glamorous gatherings for the elite, filled with music, wealth, and influence. However, in light of recent accusations, the truth behind these gatherings is far from what most imagined.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Many insiders have described Diddy's parties as intense, over-the-top events where luxury and secrecy created a heady environment. Guests would arrive at private locations and be ushered into spaces that were meticulously designed to create an exclusive atmosphere. These were not just social gatherings. They were carefully orchestrated affairs where discretion was paramount. Attendees were told that what happens here stays here, a phrase that, looking back, might have been more literal than anyone realized. With rumors of hidden cameras and stories of guests being recorded without their knowledge, the mystique surrounding these parties has turned sinister.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
Former employees, once fiercely loyal to Diddy, have now come forward to paint a darker picture of these infamous gatherings. Some describe being pressured into attending or arranging certain aspects of these events that made them uncomfortable. Attendees who were once eager to be part of the inner circle of Diddy's social network now describe these parties as unsettling experiences where everything was shrouded in secrecy. It wasn't just that Diddy liked to host elaborate gatherings. These events reportedly had strict rules about who could attend, what was allowed, and most ominously, what couldn't be discussed afterward.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
For years, celebrities from all over Hollywood and beyond were spotted at these parties, mingling with each other and rubbing elbows with industry elites. Diddy's guest list often included the biggest names, from actors to politicians to fellow musicians to fellow musicians. And while the public saw these events as a celebration of success and luxury, those who were there now suggest they were something else entirely. Several attendees have hinted at the pressures to stay silent about what they witnessed, with stories emerging about what they were encouraged, or sometimes forced, to leave unsaid.
Legitimate concern. No judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day. Oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes, and sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. Years ago, it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
Some of the most shocking revelations suggest that Diddy's parties blurred the lines between personal pleasure and professional influence. These gatherings were reportedly as much about networking as they were about keeping others under his control. Guests, including high-profile stars, were supposedly introduced to the benefits of Diddy's favor and, in return, found themselves part of an unspoken pact of silence. Attendees have hinted that the parties were designed to foster a sense of indebtedness, where favors exchanged at these events led to unbreakable bonds or even coercion. And as more former insiders come forward, it seems that these gatherings were intended to bind people to Diddy in ways that went far beyond business.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
The connections don't stop with high-profile celebrities. Recently, whispers have emerged of connections between Diddy and other controversial figures, which have added yet another layer to the intrigue and mystery surrounding his legacy. Even the mere mention of Diddy's name alongside individuals with dark pasts, like Jeffrey Epstein or R. Kelly, has set off a wave of speculation. While any proven link between them remains speculative, the association alone has become enough to taint public perception. These rumors suggest that Diddy's network might be more complex and far-reaching than anyone could have guessed. A web of connections that spans industries and crosses into the lives of some of society's most infamous figures.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
For the public, these associations feel like the final piece of a puzzle that's been forming over decades. While no concrete evidence links Diddy to the likes of Epstein or Kelly, simply being connected to these names deepens suspicions about what went on behind the scenes. The world of the ultra-elite has always had a dark allure filled with conspiracy theories about secret meetings and hidden agendas. With the latest accusations, Diddy finds himself pulled into the shadows of these infamous names, as if the success he once held so dear was built not just on hard work, but on alliances with figures who have since been exposed for their own shocking behavior. In the court of public opinion, Diddy's connections with these individuals have further damaged his reputation, leading to speculation that he was part of a hidden elite network that could cross ethical lines to protect its members. The term puppet masters has surfaced in discussions, with fans and observers speculating that Diddy and other powerful figures like Jay-Z wielded their influence not just for success, but to control and manipulate the industry around them. Viral posts and videos have dissected interviews and public appearances, claiming to reveal subtle hints about the power Diddy and Jay-Z have had over other artists and industry insiders.
Some solution where his money could help us craft, I mean, he could build his separate jail cell, you know, and we could keep him there. Just interesting to me that they sort of said, nope, you're going to be treated not like everybody else, but a lot like everybody else. Just, you know, having money doesn't do it. So I wouldn't want to be those judges. There's sort of a no-win situation for the judge.
Some online commenters have pointed to certain moments in music history where careers were seemingly made or broken by the influence of these men as evidence of their alleged control. There is a theory that Diddy and Jay-Z strategically fostered alliances to eliminate anyone they saw as a threat, using their connections to pull strings behind the scenes. Artists who dared to challenge their dominance allegedly faced sudden career roadblocks, while those who stayed loyal saw their success flourish. It's an idea that blurs the line between fact and fiction, yet it's gained a lot of traction among fans who feel that there's more to Diddy and Jay-Z's influence than what meets the eye.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
Some of the theories swirling online are even more outlandish, claiming that Diddy and Jay-Z have acted as gatekeepers, deciding who can rise to fame and who must be kept out. These ideas fuel the conspiracy that their influence is so pervasive that they've quietly shaped not only hip-hop, but also the broader music industry, always working to maintain a tight grip on power. In these theories, Diddy and Jay-Z are portrayed less as successful businessmen and more as puppet masters who orchestrate the careers of others to suit their agendas. It's a thrilling and dark narrative that adds to the suspense surrounding the ongoing scandal, making fans wonder just how deep their influence might truly go.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
As Diddy's empire faces scrutiny, Jay-Z's testimony is now seen by many as a potential pivot point in this conspiracy theory. His decision to speak against his former ally has been interpreted as a tactical move to distance himself from Diddy while preserving his own empire. The timing of Jay-Z's involvement adds to the intrigue, suggesting that he may be more aware of what's at stake than anyone realized. Some speculate that Jay-Z, in his silence and sudden pivot, might be hoping to emerge as the sole ruler in a world he once shared with Diddy. This calculated distance allows him to protect his reputation while letting Diddy take the fall for the industry's darkest secrets. This storyline is far from over, and each day seems to bring new layers of intrigue. The notion of Diddy and Jay-Z as puppet masters in hip-hop, using their power to shape careers and ensure silence, has taken on a life of its own, with fans and conspiracy theorists digging into every interaction and collaboration for hidden meaning. This theory might be no more than wild speculation, but the mystery it stirs only intensifies the sense that Diddy's empire was about more than music. Whether or not there's truth to these theories, they paint a picture of a world where power and influence are as important as talent, and where those at the top do whatever it takes to stay there.
Alleged evidence that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles, and the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
And as if the revelations about Diddy's parties, rumored alliances, and Jay-Z's unexpected testimony weren't enough, now come the voices of those closest to Diddy who have chosen to finally break their silence. Over the years, Diddy's empire has been shrouded in whispers from former employees and insiders who've hinted at a darker side to his leadership and his entire operation. But with these new legal troubles piling up, the doors to his past are being thrown wide open, and what people are saying now could reshape everything we thought we knew about him. With stunning claims, direct quotes, and alleged details surfacing from these insiders, it feels like Diddy's entire legacy is unraveling from the inside out.
Do you believe Diddy is a dangerous person?
Yes. I do.
What's fascinating is that these stories aren't just coming from disgruntled former employees or distant acquaintances. They're coming from people who were once the very foundation of Diddy's brand and his empire. From assistants who worked side by side with him to executives at Bad Boy Records, the stories now circulating paint an unflattering picture of a man who allegedly ruled his empire with an iron grip, often through manipulation, intimidation, and an unwavering demand for loyalty. Many of these insiders claim they endured toxic work environments, where even the smallest dissent or pushback against Diddy's decisions was met with swift and harsh consequences. One former employee even described his leadership style as ruthless, claiming that Diddy expected absolute obedience and would not hesitate to cut ties with anyone who didn't fall in line.
Well, either way, if you got to run to a private island because your evil doings is doing so much and they storming your house, it's one of these.
Some of the most chilling accounts come from witnesses who describe how Diddy allegedly cultivated an environment where fear and silence were currency. Former assistants and close associates have said that everyone around Diddy was made aware, either explicitly or implicitly, that their careers, and even their safety, depended on their loyalty to him. Employees allegedly learned quickly that stepping out of line could lead to career-ruining repercussions or, in some cases, accidents that served as warnings to others. With each new testimony, it becomes increasingly clear that Diddy's rise to power might have involved more than just talent and business acumen.
Every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
These testimonies bring to light how Diddy allegedly used this aura of authority to keep everyone around him in check. One particularly striking account from a former Bad Boy Records executive reveals how Diddy's insistence on secrecy became a core part of his company's culture. According to this former executive, employees were told that any details about Diddy's personal or professional dealings were strictly off limits. Gossiping about the boss, that was a career-ending move. Sharing information with outsiders, the consequences were even more severe. This intense pressure for silence seems to have permeated every layer of Diddy's empire, creating a tightly controlled bubble that kept him insulated from the outside world and shielded from exposure.
Is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being. They have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
While some might argue that maintaining such control is just a savvy business move, others see it as a red flag. After all, if everything was above board, why would there be such a heavy-handed focus on secrecy and loyalty? The level of control Diddy allegedly exerted raises questions about what might have been going on behind closed doors. And as more former employees and insiders come forward with their stories, it's becoming clear that this culture of silence wasn't just a company policy, it was an essential part of Diddy's strategy for maintaining his grip on power. The more these stories emerge, the more it looks like Diddy's empire was built not just on music and money, but on a foundation of unspoken rules and whispered threats.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
And then, of course, there's Jay-Z's role in all of this. With his unexpected testimony, Jay-Z's involvement has added another layer of intrigue. For years, Jay-Z remained silent about Diddy's alleged wrongdoings, leading some to wonder if he was complicit or simply didn't want to risk his own brand. But now that he's come forward, some insiders are speculating that Jay-Z might be playing his own game, a calculated move to distance himself from Diddy just as the tide is turning. Could it be that Jay-Z sees Diddy's downfall as an opportunity to cement his own place as the top figure in hip-hop? Or is there a deeper reason for his silence up until now? For many, it's a question of whether Jay-Z is acting out of self-preservation, moral obligation, or a combination of both.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past, okay?
Adding to the complexity of Jay-Z's involvement are his high-profile legal advisors and his wife, Beyonce. Many believe that his decision to testify was influenced by those closest to him, especially Beyonce, who, according to some sources, had long harbored reservations about Diddy's influence and the impact of his rumored activities. Beyonce, known for her own fiercely guarded brand and dedication to keeping her image pristine, would understandably be wary of any association that could tarnish her reputation. There's even talk that she advised Jay-Z to cut ties with Diddy as the accusations began to gain traction, reportedly telling him that now was the time to step back for the sake of his own legacy.
Mentioning to me that with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, you know, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone. So
Meanwhile, Jay-Z's legal team, led by Alex Spiro, has become increasingly vocal about distancing their client from the storm surrounding Diddy. Spiro, known for his aggressive tactics and high-profile wins, seems determined to keep Jay-Z's image clean, even if it means breaking an unspoken code of loyalty between the two men. Some see Spiro's involvement as a sign that Jay-Z is prepared to do whatever it takes to avoid being drawn into Diddy's downfall. And with Spiro at the helm, it's clear that Jay-Z is taking every measure to ensure that his reputation remains untarnished as he navigates this incredibly delicate situation. The ongoing revelations also dredge up a slew of past controversies that Diddy has managed to sidestep over the years as if he were somehow untouchable. From previous lawsuits involving his record label to whispers of incidents that were quickly settled out of court, Diddy's past is full of instances where trouble seemed to just vanish as quickly as it appeared. One notable case involved an infamous nightclub incident that was headline news one day and disappeared almost overnight. Insiders now suggest that Diddy's wealth and influence helped him escape any real consequences, raising suspicions about how many other incidents were similarly smoothed over behind the scenes.
What is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released to his mansion.
As we unravel the intricate, high-stakes drama surrounding Diddy's empire, the question remains, was his rise to power driven solely by talent and hard work, or was it propped up by silence, secrecy, and an intense control over those around him? And with Jay-Z now stepping into the fray, is this testimony a move to preserve his own legacy or a final calculated play in an unseen rivalry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What's your take on the battle between these two hip-hop icons, and what do you think lies ahead for both of their legacies? Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned for more breaking stories from the world of music and fame.